Pretty much all of you have heard of Sesame Street, so it needs no introduction. It's the longest running kid show in America, based on the titular Descendant of Sesame Street with some humans, some Muppets. When I was a kid, I would almost constantly watch it. It was one of not my favorite shows for quite a while, of course. I moved to other shows, but it's always held a special place in my heart. I love the characters, like music, the stories. Everything felt perfect to my childhood self. Recently, my kid Millie just turned 4, and I wanted to give her something. My kid Millie just turned 4, and I wanted to give her some of my old Sesame Street tapes as a birthday present. She was so excited, as it was one of her favorite shows too. I guess the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, then, eh? Well, immediately after getting them, she zipped to the TV and watched them. I, of course, joined in for a little blast from the past, and boy, it was a blast. It was nice spending time with her. I wanted to last forever, but eventually the day turned night. Millie fell asleep. I took her to bed and let her doze the night away. I mean, so after to continue watching my Sesame Street binge. I was on the last disc of and the episode began to play. There was no interest, so I couldn't tell which episode it was, but I was already to relive childhood memories, though I don't know it was sometime in the 90s. It started with Gordon introducing the episode next to the big pole where the icon Sesame Street sign play where Mr. Snuffleupagus came by. He was there waiting for Big Bird of fun, for a day of fun. Ada was telling Gordon about the fun thing when Gordon later departed to say goodbye to Snuffy, leaving him alone. When Gordon once stood was a man appeared out of nowhere. He was tall, skinny, and he was tall, skinny white man, wearing a black trench coat, pants, shirt, and fedora. He had with a black umbrella which he held high over the thought there was no rain, or when eerie, low-pitched music started to play, and then the scene faded out. The episode transitioned to Big Bird on the street, and he himself at the titular pole, but find no sign of Snuffy. Gordon came by and asked Big Bird what he was doing, to which he waited for Snuffy. He started saying fun thing on him, which quoting Stuffy vibed him, erupting. Gordon took Big Bird and he saw Snuffy just minutes earlier. Who grew concerned that they started searching for Snuffy, and the scene ended after the a scene a quick cartoon played. I don't remember this episode, but I chalked it up to being a bad memory, but it was interesting to see where this was going. Next thing showed Elmo and Zoe playing in the park together. They were playing with blocks and balls and playing a counting game. And then, after a minute, playing the game, Elmo excused himself and left just behind where Elmo stood. The umbrella man that was in front of the bushes. The same music played in the scene played, faded with Elmo was coming back. I thought Zeb was gone. And it came like he found Gordon and Big Bird looking for Stuffy, and then telling him about Zeb. They took to find both Snuffy and Zeb. Later, the scene showed the search party becoming bigger, with more people coming to aid in search of Gordon's stuff to relax from it, and Big Bird was getting worried and repeatedly asking Gordon to get up. Stood the man and walked toward Gordon, but before he got to him, the scene ended. The next scene showed Big Bird worrying about Gordon and his friend, with Ruthie until everywhere Gordon Grove and Cookie Monster were missing. This caused a bit of a commotion until Mr. Hanford handled the tension with positive feet. The crowd noise died down and went in different directions, more efficiently. After the scene ended, the scene showed it had been 3 days and no one found Telly was sitting on a bench to himself, worried about the fellow citizen of Sesame Street. Elmer and Kayla tried to comfort him and led that Susan, Harry, and Bert and Ernie were missing too. Elmer was brink of relax and when and zoomed out, the umbrella man was sitting right next to them. They looked over at Pierre. The scene ended. After this, a scene of random muppet running the street yelling, "Beware of the umbrella man!" Running into Hooper's store. Mr. Hanford and some other con and to get him to explain the Muppet explained that he saw the umbrella take Telly and Elma and knew he was responsible for others disappearing. Baby was among the crowd looking toward the viewer. Pondering the supposed umbrella man was behind and disappearing just when the bus asked the Muppet a question. The Muppet was gone, and so it Telly holding an umbrella passed through the window. Mr. Hanford was the other patrons to relax, and that the whole thing was being sorted out. The caretaker changed showed the umbrella man sitting outside, but then they were all obvious to the president. The scene ended with a slight zoom of the man's face, smooth face with no signs of hair or expression. Next thing, Big Bird was sitting on the steps of the 123 Sesame Street building alone. He sat sighing and wondering where everyone went. He told the viewer that nearly everyone was gone, and he was scared. Oscar came out of the trash one day. What's the noise? But Big Bird was relieved to know he wasn't alone, but Oscar wasn't so happy. Like he was enjoying the peace and quiet when Big Bird came up from his nap. Big Bird apologized, but started going on rambling about how Big was awful. One camera was a Big Bird's face. Then it went to a shot of both of them, with a small part of the umbrella man being visible. Big Bird then said this was the best day of his week. He saw Oscar. When the camera focused on his face, but just after he said that, the shot zoomed out and showed that Oscar and his trash can was vanished. Went quiet. Slowly walked toward the pool in the episode where the episode began. He looked around and they looked down on his feet, more miserable than ever. Last shot of the episode showed him looking down. The umbrella man was right behind him. I was a little shocked by what I saw. I didn't know what more part of the episode gave. If any, maybe stranger danger? I don't know. This was a pretty creepy episode. Not just by Sesame Street Theater's either. I mean, everyone you love going, and that's quite horrible for kids. Nay, even those to watch or comprehend. I will let Millie watch this episode for obvious reasons, but still have the death. I don't know if I'm the only one who saw the episode or if it was aired at all. I know this is real. If this is even is legit, it's quite the highest scale ripoff I've looked for. Care enough for detail, but none informative has come up. Just stuff about canceling episodes, banned episodes, like the one with the Wicked Witch came on. But I don't know how the knowledge that this exists, whether like it or not. Written by Cherry, written by Cheryl 529.